last we left off, our party assisted the Emperor in removing themselves and the Emperor from a mindscape alternate dimension after helping a genie get their friend back to their understanding. The genie was given a jar and released this curse that they'd put over the Emperor and accidentally over the party.
You have food.
Still unaware of how they arrived in such a dimension, the party now stands back in our normal reality. The Emperor looking at the party, grateful, last stating his gratefulness of their help, and we pick up from there. Reximus, something you recognize, something you realize after taking a good look at the Emperor, is that his face looks normal again. Mm-hmm. It doesn't look melty or wavy like it did originally.
Right.
It seemed to have been something along the lines, at least while you were in that in that mindscape, it changed his appearance somehow. However, he looks normal now. You all now stand with the Emperor in front of you. The Emperor kind of looks at you, at the three of you. Well, thank you again for your assistance with that little predicament. I do have to say you are capable, and I am grateful, so I will reward you in some way, shape, or form. I will tell the guards to escort you to a nice inn up here in the 3rd level of the city for the night, if you wish. All expenses paid, a meal as well. Is there anything else that you feel would be a good payment for your assistance?
I'll pipe up and respond. Could you have people be looking out for my parents in the city?
I can. Let me get one of my guards and they'll take down a description of your family.
Okay, thank you.
And he kind of looks over to you, Chrissy. Anything you were looking for in particular? There's a price.
A little bit of cash wouldn't hurt.
Cash. That can be done. Mr. Snarlshire, is there anything we can do to pay you for your assistance here?
Well, you could pay me with possible information about anything that happened in reality.
I think he's asking for information on what happened while they were gone.
Yeah.
Oh.
How would he know that? He's been in Mindscape with us.
I was in the Mindscape with you. I don't know, but I can...
Yeah, but he can send... He has, like, his whole posse, and he's the Emperor.
I can come back with information. I'll have a guard come by your inn that you'll be staying at to provide some information. Or if you would like to stay at the inn.
I'm
one of the higher inns here.
Yeah, I think I prefer my own abode. So,
if you wish,
well,
tell the guards
okay.
not
Well,
to pay for the food.
Let me not be rude. You said higher inn, right? This is more of a...
In our current layer of the city, yes. I will have someone have an inn for you, expenses paid in food.
In your opinion, what do you think of the quality of these inns?
You don't see me going down below my district, do you?
It's fair. All right. Yeah, I'll go to my house.
So be it. Any kind of motions to you, Tad and Chrissy? Are you going to be staying with Mr. Snarlshire, or would you like to stay at the inn as well?
I mean, I'll stay in the inn. I'd like to stay in this section of the city so I can go visit Mr. Vlad and see if he's okay. If that's good.
Vladimir Desiree, yes?
Uh-huh.
How do you know Mr. Desiree?
A guard introduced me to him because he was looking for me specifically to play music at that party with Child.
Yes.
I'll relay that information in the cute girl voice or whatever, which I can't do.
Well, we'll see what we can do. We'll see if we can reach out to Mr. Desiree and let them know where you are staying.
Okay.
That being said, I will start on getting a guard to escort you to the inn. We'll have them take down a description of your family. And we'll get you some money, Chrysanthem, sorry. And we'll go from there. If you do not mind, I may request some assistance of you again, as you are fairly capable.
Is he looking at me as he says this?
He's motioning to all of you.
Okay.
Well, I think
You are
that was.
capable enough.
I think that was fairly obvious.
Okay, are you giving us your phone number? I mean...
I do not know what this phone is.
Neither do I.
Yeah, I've seen things in the hell that Tick sent me through.
Yeah.
Tat's just slowly going insane.
Oh no!
No,
Tat sees Twitter in
Weird.
2020.
She just becomes like a classic pumpkin spice sipping girl or something.
yes. My God. The Emperor begins to go up the spiraling staircase from where the genie was being held, motioning for you guys to follow him up the stairs.
I will follow. With
Okay.
my little feet. Up the big
Alright.
stairs.
I'm assuming the Chrissy and Reximus, you follow him as well?
Yes.
As you get into where the normal holding cells for normal people would be, there's a man sitting at a desk. And he looks up, looks back. My lord! And he just stands up like immediate. You were... How... We heard that you were missing.
Yes, no need to freak
Oh
out.
no.
You know,
The
it's
Emperor looks
fine.
back at you,
Reximus.
Reximus.
Oh, sorry.
Gonna-
He was talking. Okay, yes. Oh, my apologies.
EJ is going to stab Reximus somehow.
EJ is, not Tat. EJ.
Yes.
The man at the desk also looks at you. My lord, who...
It's okay.
are
Hi,
these?
I'm Tat. What's your name?
The Emperor looks back from Reximus. Yes, they assisted in finding, I guess you could say. Yes, the young one stated their name is Tat. And this is Reximus Snarlshire. And he just completely stone-faced looks back at you, Reximus.
I mean,
Very
you don't have to say it like that. You could say it like Reximus Snarlshire.
You're right, I could have, if you didn't have such a big ego. I would have. Do not want to feed it more, it may explode.
If you were relevant.
It's almost
you
as
deserve
big
your
as
name to
his
be
head.
spoken.
I mean, I definitely am willing to get some food, for sure.
Huh?
Yeah, the man at the desk kind of laughs at that, and then he realizes he's laughing, he just stops. The Emperor's just looking, he's like... Yes. Anyways, if you would spread the word, I will be up in my chambers with my 3 guests. And he begins to walk out, and the man at the
You gonna
desk
have a
does
slumber
salutes.
party?
No, I'm just getting money for Chrysa.
Tucky said even Stu's characters are hungry.
So the Emperor begins to go up the set of stairs again, leading towards where his chambers were originally, where Tat, you had found him originally, and he shot a fireball at you.
Oh yeah, that was fun.
As
It's
you were
just a
walking,
scorch mark with like an empty spot in the shape of us.
pretty much, as you're walking through the palace, everyone is stopping and staring and whispering. It's like, "Oh, the Emperor's back! The Emperor's back! Who are these?" And everyone like, "Who's with him?" And they're all kind of looking at you, and the Emperor is like waving and like, "Yes, I'm back. Yes, everything's fine." And you head up the stairs to his chamber, where you do see a scorch mark with very blatant imprints of people, and the door is just covered in black ash. And there are 2 guards that are looking at it like, "How did this happen? What happened? Where did this? What?"
I love it. On the floor,
fire.
just a distinct shape of tiny human, an elf, and a gigantic dinosaur.
Exactly right. They're like,
Wait.
How, my lord. And they stand up and kind of salute as well. The 2 guards immediately stand straight and salute the Emperor as he's like, "Yes, if you could get someone to clean this up." And he looks down and motions to the ash on the ground. If you wouldn't mind, any motions for you to enter his chamber. As
I'll
you
put my
enter,
feet in the like where they were. I'll be
Alright.
like, and then I'll walk in.
it's a good fit. I wonder why. As you enter the Emperor's chamber, he shuts the door behind him. Goes over to a small dresser, kind of waves his hand in front of it as he grabs the knob of the dresser, opens it. There's a safe, and he opens up the safe, pulls out a sack of money, and turns to you, Chrissy, and hands you the sack of money. That should
Thank
be
you.
recompense enough. In it, you have 100 silver.
Are there any interesting things along the walls in his room?
From taking a look around, there are tapestries and paintings, but other than that, there's nothing really interesting.
Games,
I mean,
high
there
show
are
or anything?
tables, but no, not really. Mostly artwork here and there.
Just
There's a
like,
table with a book and quill on it, and a set of papers. His bed.
Could jump on the bed.
Don't.
No.
As he hands the money, you hear some knocking at the door, and the Emperor do come in, and a well-dressed man in a black tuxedo enters. My lord, we heard you had arrived. The dungeoneer had spread the word. I came to make sure everything was okay. Yes, everything is fine. Glad you're here, though. If you wouldn't mind gathering a guard and taking my 3 guests here to the Stampede Inn. They will be paid in full, the inn, for keeping our guests here, and we'll go from there. As well, if you could take some information regarding young Pat's here's family and do some searching to see what you can find. I believe we should be set there. As well, if you could gather some information for me about what happened while I was gone. Of course, my lord. If you do not mind me asking, where were you?
Here.
Yes, as you know, stated, I was here. I never left. It's a long story. We'll go over later. And the well-dressed man nods, and if you would mind following me, please. And he motions for the 3 of you to follow him. Reximus, Chris here, is there anything you're going to do in the room?
Nah.
So the Emperor kind of sits down at his desk, opens up his notebook, and begins writing as you leave. And the well-dressed man begins leading you out. Motions one of the guards to follow. The guard begins to follow. Is there anything you want to say to him and or the guard? I mean, the well-dressed man does talk to you, Ted, and asks for a description of the family.
Mhm.
He gets
I
that.
will do that.
Perfect. Was there anything else you would want to talk about to this man before we get to the end?
So we're already out of the. Are we already out of the? I guess his office.
His room, yes, his office. You have left the office.
Can I peek my head back in really quick, and just
I mean, you were standing in there a second ago.
kind of as everyone's gone ahead, I just sort of peek back in.
Yeah.
Really quick.
There is still a guard there, and he stumps. May I help you?
Yes. I just need to ask the Emperor one quick question.
Do what you will. Then he just kind of stands and watches you.
Okay, so I open the door just a little bit, and then kind of enough for my head to fit through.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Just sort of stick my head in and ask. Excuse me, Emperor. Just one last question. I understand kind of why everything happened with you in this other dimension, mindscape, whatever it was. What I don't get is why we were brought along.
I do not know either.
Okay.
Magic is volatile.
Yes.
If you would like, I can ask for one of our palace mages to do some research into it.
Sure. Yeah. Do you have a way of contacting me, or?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I'll just.
We'll call you.
I'll just take my leave then. Happy writing. And I just awkwardly leave.
Okay. He turns back and begins taking notes again.
Okay.
As you leave, then you quickly catch up to your friends again, or well, I guess your colleagues. I don't know if they're technically your friends yet.
Friends, come on. Come on.
Your colleagues in this situation.
Yeah.
The well-dressed man has kind of stopped to wait for you. Wonderful. I guess we will go back along our way then. He begins to walk through the palace again. Was there anything else 3 of you wanted to do before we, for time's sake, skip to traveling to the
I'll just be asking this guy. So, what's your name? What's your life story, etc.
Right.
Typical type behavior.
Typical type of behavior. Okay. The well-dressed man and the guard escort you through the city to the Stampede Inn. Very posh-looking establishment. As you enter the front door, there's 2 guards on either side, 2 city guards, and another well-dressed man, not as well-dressed as the one you had been escorted by. And Tad, from your conversation, the well-dressed man told you his name was Pip. He didn't give you a last name, just Pip.
Okay.
Pip has escorted you through the city to the inn, and well-dressed man, concierge, at the desk, looks up, nods, and Pip goes over, hands him brief writing, more or less, and some money. And the concierge looks at it. Yes, welcome. Honored guest of the Emperor. We are happy to have you. Please, take a seat anywhere. We'll get you a meal, and then one of our stewardesses will get you to a room. So to my understanding, it will just be 2 of you, correct? Staying?
Yes.
Will the two of you be sharing a room?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. And sir, and he look the concierge looks up to you, Reximus. You, to my understanding, will not be staying the evening with us. Will you be staying for a meal?
It depends. What kind of meals do you have available?
Well, the finest, of course. We are an inn sponsored by the Emperor, of course. We do provide the best of foods. Recently, the farms in the outer skirts have not been providing as much stock as they used to due to weather and all such. But our farms, we do have good sources of meats for you.
Brilliant. Yes.
I will be sure to let the kitchen know. It will be a little while they prepare for you.
Do you
please
have
take a seat.
Sorry, I don't mean to intrude, but you do have drinks available as well, correct?
Well, of course. What kind of establishment would this be without drinks?
That's what I like to hear. Okay.
I'd like take a seat where they gestured.
They just gestured at any of the tables. It's fairly open. There are only a couple of people. From what you can tell, this is an expensive establishment. There's a couple at a table near one of the windows, and a lone man, sitting less well dressed, but still posh looking, sitting off on his own, enjoying what looks to be a salad.
So I'm assuming that there aren't any chairs in here that are designed for T-Rex people.
No,
so
there are not.
So I guess I try to sit down.
There are, from walking around the upper districts, that you have seen people who are Goliaths. So there are chairs big enough for a Goliath, and you are fairly close to that size.
Okay, all right, okay. Because I was gonna be like, this is like an adult at a kids' table situation. So.
All right, guys. I'm happy to be here.
Oh, I am so going to take advantage of this situation.
Oh, no, there are big enough chairs. The table itself is a little bit small for you, but...
I think I don't...
Is this
I
like the kind of place
sit.
that has, like, salad forks, pasta forks, dessert
Oh, yes,
spoons?
there are 4 forks,
Oh,
there's
great.
3 spoons... and
My
2
kind of
saucers.
place! Yes!
Oh, I'm going to make you mad.
Oh, probably will. Yeah, sure, I'll find a big chair. Sit down there.
Sid, you go over to a table, and one of the stewardesses, one of the waitresses, comes over with one of the bigger Goliath chairs. The woman looks to be half orc of some sort, and strong enough to pick up one of these chairs. It's fairly heavy. Comes over, sets it down, kind of bows and heads off to kind of stand along the wall. You see a few waitresses, about 3 or 4, just standing along the wall, kind of waiting for someone to motion for them.
Mm-hmm.
That lady had tusks. Did you see them?
Her teeth there were markings, but there weren't full tusks as a half orc. But yes, you did see kind of like the cheeks were a little bigger where the tusks would be.
Okay, well that's just a little rude. I mean, what about mine? Well, they're not tusks, but like my,
I mean, you're a dinosaur. It makes sense for you.
They look very clean for a dinosaur's teeth.
What? Well, thank you.
Who brushed your teeth for you? Because your tiny arms can't reach your big mouth.
Okay, that's a little rude. It was Lystra, but that was a little rude. Okay. She does great brushing, best in the business.
Of course.
All right.
She doesn't.
Believe me, I've tried every person there is. And
I have employed so many servants to try and brush my teeth, and she does the best, without a doubt.
Bless her soul.
So please don't criticize my
Criticize me all you like. Do not criticize Lystra. Sorry.
teeth brushing.
He looks so hurt.
You look so hurt. You hurt the Rexus, man. How dare?
Oopsie.
So as you take your seat,
Doesn't have experience with that.
yes, a few minutes pass by, and a waitress comes by with a bowl of salad for each of you, and some bread rolls, Olive Garden style.
I assume this is the full meal.
If I may ask, what would you all like to drink?
Bar?
There is already water at the table.
Okay, well I'll take a more mature drink.
Why
I've had a
mature?
long day, so whatever you recommend.
I got hit in the face by a fireball. I've had just as rough a day as you have.
I guess in that case you had a shot of fireball.
I lost my own personal genie. I had to sleep in a bed that was not comfortable.
He had to wipe his own butt.
I had no servants. I'm so done. I had no servants to attend to me. So my arms hurt a lot, and my teeth are not looking well. It's been a rough day.
The waitress.
I just hold up my cleaning rock.
I also throw in like a little roar as well, because I'm just very frustrated.
The patronary couple, the
meals.
couple who is sitting at the table near the window, kind of their conversation quiets down. They look over at the noise.
This is the other couple in the room?
This is the other couple. The other man, the man who's sitting by himself, doesn't pay any mind.
Oh god.
The waitress sits kind of mouth agape. Of course, we'll get you something recommended by the kitchen.
Thank you. Oh,
And
I do want to make a request though. I know it's kind of strange, but I probably will not be able to lift the glove. So could you bring me a really long straw?
One of those crazy straws.
Sure thing. Yes, absolutely.
Thank you.
And for you, ma'am, kind of motions to you, Chrissy. Anything in particular to drink?
The strongest bourbon you have.
Can do. The waitress goes off to the kitchen. So, in the meantime, while that is happening, is there anything in particular you three wanted to discuss?
I have my mouth full of breadsticks.
Sorry. I'm
Just looking around.
I have the crunchy
chandeliers
kind of
and
coffee. There's a few
the
grains in
crunchy
there.
kind of coffee.
I don't
Okay,
think.
anyways.
I don't think coffee's supposed to be crunchy.
No, it's not.
No,
Yeah. No, that's when the grains get in it, and it's just not fun. I wanted to just sort of like, as
clap
they're
them on?
eating their bread or whatever,
Right.
I just want to kind of like just look around, make sure no one's watching me, or at least at the moment, right? I'm just gonna turn.
The guard that came with.
I meant at the table. Like it doesn't matter
Yes.
about in the room.
The guard. Out of Tat and Chrissy.
Yeah.
If we're gonna try to do something, do a sleight of hand. Well, what are you trying to do? Do a sleight of hand check.
Okay. That's that's a 6.
So you both hear a tiny. You watch Reximus kind of turn to the side, and you hear a tiny.
What you doing?
So as Chris, what you doing? There's a slight puff of air around you. Bazrar kind of appears. You're alive.
Yes.
We're not dead.
I'm
So
not
are
dead.
you.
You're not dead. We're alive. Oh.
Yes.
And he kind of grabs a chair and pulls over and sits down. He does the kind of sitting where it's like one leg over the other. He's like, so what happens? I remember passing out, and then all of a sudden you're gone. I'm gone.
So you passed out. You didn't
Die?
Yeah.
No. What?
Okay. Well, it was very weird. Like
Oh golly.
you kind of like.
There were other genies, and the Emperor was like holding one hostage, and
You met the-
set him
them?
free.
What? Go ahead and roll a perception check for your Reximus. Actually, everybody, if you could, roll a perception check for me.
I just realized, like,
Not
see,
one.
like.
18 by the
yikes.
way.
Anyways, perception.
Yes.
11 plus 2 is 13.
Nice.
Okay. So, the first thing, Tad, man, this bread is good. It is straight up Olive Garden breadsticks good. It's probably laced with something you don't know. It's good.
This is the best bread I've ever had.
Best bread you've ever had. Have you guys ever had Olive Garden?
Oh yeah,
breadsticks?
100%.
Oh,
my
yeah.
Anyways, so straight up Olive Garden breadsticks. Chrissy and Reximus. Something you notice with Bazrar, when he kind of motions to you with his hand, it's kind of dark. It's like the skin looks darker than it did before.
He got a tan, kind of dark, or like.
Yeah, he got a tan kind of dark.
Did you take a vacation?
Did you leave us on death's doorstep so you could go get a margarita? No, I don't.
I mean, I would absolutely do that, but No, what?
What's with
What
your?
do you mean?
I mean,
What's with my whoa? And he looks down and is like, apparently I have a tan now. Did you? Hi.
I mean, I didn't wish for this, so.
I didn't wish for this either, so I don't really know. But
what are we talking about?
apparently I'm tan.
Well, anyway.
See, with today's events, I'm not sure if this is concerning or if we should just act like it's actually a normal thing, because it is, but with how everything's going on, who knows?
Apparently the Emperor...
Is it like significantly noticeable tan difference, or is it more like just a slight?
It's a slight, like looks like he's been out in the sun for that. It does. It looks like a bit of a tan, but it isn't like.
Mm-hmm. So it's not like his skin is
slot.
black now.
No.
it's just like a slight color.
It's just slightly darker. Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, I wouldn't make any connections there then.
Yeah. I mean, with everything that happened today, first everyone disappearing, and then all of a sudden you disappearing, and I was just there in a void because I was trying to get to you, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when I would try, it would be like running into a glass wall. Right? It was just couldn't get past.
Have you ever encountered something like that before?
You can break glass.
I mean, yes. I normally, yeah. You just smash right through.
Okay,
but
well,
no.
Have you ever messed with any other genies before? Encountered any other genies?
Family related primarily, yes.
Right.
To be fair, encounter it, and he kind of looks over to you, Ted. Encounter it before, no. It was, well, yes. It was like I was stuck back in my lamp, back in my jar. I don't know, I was just stuck there again. Very strange.
That is strange, because my assumption is that everything was caused by the genie, but if you don't think that was it, then maybe something else is happening.
So you think we were in a genie bottle?
I have no idea. Maybe. If another... Well, I mean, I don't really know what happened, so not 100% certain.
That's just a strange conscience. Just go back to eating your bread sandwich.
Okay. Did anything happen while we were gone out here? They said that there was something, like someone was trying to keep us away from something.
Wait, who's?
Wait, was I? Actually, I don't know if I was there for that conversation. I don't remember what Ted's supposed to know.
I
might not
know
about
that
the
genie had stated. I think that's something the genie had stated. So yeah, you were there for that. I don't know. Again, I was just stuck in my little fun pocket void that is my genie lamp. At least it felt like it.
So then, Ingrid dying was in the mindscape then, right? So she's here somewhere?
I can check. I don't know. I don't know what is what anymore. The last thing I remember is you telling me to go find what I could find out by the Emperor. The moment I tried to, it felt like hitting going 50 miles an hour into a wall, and then I passed out. And then I woke up in my black void.
I'm full now.
Alright, well,
Wait, you're full up on the... This is... Where are we?
It's
a really nice restaurant.
Did they get, like, other
Did you get full on the
react?
appetizers?
Yeah, this is just the bread before the entrees.
I haven't started eating yet.
What's the
How are you full already? You don't...
You see that all the bread is gone. All the bread is gone.
How do you not know what an entree... It's literally, like, the main... course of dinner.
To be fair, not the most important thing happening right now. Apparently, another genie put you in a not quite a lamp. I don't really know. Or at least from the way you explained it.
Well, we kind of went to some other dimension, but it wasn't like what you were explaining. It was just this world, but not
mirrored, maybe.
Right, yeah. But without everyone else. We were the only ones there besides the Emperor.
And then something happened to Alcides.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot about him. Is he okay?
I don't know. I haven't seen him.
I'm sure he's fine.
Okay.
And he can handle himself.
Yeah. I mean, I can search for him while I search for Ingrid, if you like.
Sure. Yeah, that'll do, I think.
As he's kind of going to that, the waitress comes over with your drinks. Oh, another guest. Hi there. What can I get for you? I'm all right, thank you very much. I'd actually be going to do a thing. Is there anything you want me to look for in particular?
Just things we named before.
Okay, Tad, Crispy.
My sanity.
Don't know if I could find that for you. That's that known
right.
personal journey you got to do.
You said my parents are still somewhere that they can't be found, right? Or maybe they can't. I don't know. Any updates?
I'll keep searching. I mean, again, I was kind of out of there, so I can try. Yeah. I'll be back. And he poofs away.
At least I've got new friends to look after me for right now.
Yes. And he poofs away, and the waitress.
Oh yeah, he kind of. Yeah, he does that.
He's a genie.
Right.
Well, anyways, Chrissy takes a little stretch. I want to keep him. Oh, I just want to point out, she fully knows all etiquette, which spoon, fork, knife to use, because she has to pretend to be rich sometimes to steal from him. Picks up the wrong fork on purpose, stabs the salad without breaking eye contact with Reximus, and eats the salad. It's salad, isn't it?
I.
Stabs it again, takes another bite.
The cringe.
Why must you stop? Just
What's
switch.
the matter? It's just a fork.
You just.
Wait.
It's not you have to switch.
Hold
You're
on.
just.
So he didn't
Switch
get
'em.
mad at me for just like tearing into the breadsticks like an animal, but he's mad for using the wrong fork. All right.
Oh, I don't know what you're talking about. This fork is just the same as the other one.
I mean, he also
No,
understands
that one
your
is small. It's smaller, and it does the you know.
Takes another bite while nodding.
The waitress is. Oh. I see. Here's your drinks, and she puts them down. May I ask what you would like to eat?
What do you drink?
Fully.
Oh,
She gave me the silly straw, right?
Oh yeah. There's like this like, you know those straws that like you pull and they get longer. Ones that are like the folded ones.
Yep.
Yeah, it's one of those.
Okay, so I start sipping on it as I'm watching her do this with the salad, and then eventually I just get rid of the straw and just down the whole thing. Just throw the whole thing in my mouth.
Okay.
just
Chrissy, however, are you gonna down your drink?
You know what? Yeah, heckin', I got the freaking biggest bourbon in the world.
Then yes, I do.
I'm gonna take
I
it
need
in one
you
go.
to make a Constitution check. Chrissy.
So it's just a 12.
Right, I will be back with more drinks. Was there any specifics you would like to eat? And to kind of save time instead of role playing a whole ordering a meal.
I just think though. Was that not it?
Glad you enjoyed the appetizers, but no, there's a full meal that comes afterwards.
Oh.
It takes time to make the food, so we give you this to snack on while we make the food.
Oh. Well, I'm good. I don't need anything else.
What's the name of those giant turkey legs you can get at a Renaissance fair? What are those called again?
They're just called
Giant
turkey
turkey
legs.
Like a jumbo turkey leg.
Yes, like something you would eat.
Nice. Yeah.
Reximus, is there anything specific
Yeah.
for you?
Probably the same thing.
Okay. So they aren't turkey legs exactly. The biggest thing that they provide, and the concierge had sent out a special order for this, is vulture legs.
Wow.
Bigger.
Oh.
Ooh.
Yes.
Nice.
Is that what you want as well, Chrissy? Just the same thing Reximus is
Heck
gonna get?
yeah.
Alright.
Oh no, they're gonna compete on everything.
I'll be sure to provide that. And the waitress goes off. So, while we wait for food to be made, is there anything in particular you would want to do? The waitress does come back in a few minutes with more beverages for the two of you.
Oh, you know,
Excellent.
I'm still giving Chrissy just absolute stink eye right now.
Okay.
So I'm kind of like, after I've finished eating or whatever, and I'm just kind of sitting there for a little bit, I'll start to look around, look at the decorations on the walls, the chandeliers, the other people in the room. Is there anything that looks like it would be fun to like cause a prank with, or anything childish to do?
It's a
Maybe,
really
like, the
fancy
coloring
restaurant.
sheet.
There's no
kids to
coloring
do.
sheet, but it is a very fancy restaurant. It is like, it's one of those restaurants where you go with a kid and the kid doesn't want to be well dressed, and they're just like sitting there like, one
Yeah,
of
that's
those. So it's absolutely
tired of-
terrible for you. Yeah.
There's like
a really
classical
nice-
music in the background. I'm like,
Yeah, pretty much. There's like a lute player in the background playing very nice, calming music. There's 3
I'm
guards.
gonna take out my instrument and start accompanying, but with like a much more jaunty, childish kind of tune.
You're not trying to ruin his performance. You're just trying to.
I'm
add
trying
on.
to join in and change it from like the calming vibes of like a general, like, you know, that kind of establishment, and change it into something more upbeat and like
Roll a perception,
adventurous.
performance check for me.
So that's a 15 total.
Okay, so you go up to the kind of seating area where the musician's at, and you take a look at him. He is also bored out of his mind, from what you can tell. He's just like ding, ding, playing the music, and he comes up, he sees you, he's like, "Hi there," and he just kind of lets you do your thing. You start playing the shawm. You're like,
Mhm.
oh, and he starts also picking up the tune. The couple that was enjoying their meal before, looking around, you see they're getting a little bit irritated with the bickering between Reximus and Chrissy.
Mhm.
And then they hear the music and they look over like, they go back to their food.
Okay, Karen.
Pretty much, the man sitting by his lonesome is eating his meal. He's drinking. And he kind of looks up to you. He's like, okay. And he kind of like watches you for a minute as you're playing the instrument. And he kind of looks over to your group. And he goes back to eating his food. Reximus and Chrissy, you two are assuming are still drinking, and you're still giving your
Like
stink at
absolute
Reximus.
fools.
Yeah.
At this point, I'm sipping because I know that
sipping,
was
okay.
a little bit too much. So now I have
Okay.
a second straw.
Second straw, and you're just like sipping it slowly.
Yeah.
Chrissy, are you downing your second very strong beverage?
And also, I want to make a point to that. When I placed down my fork, I went to make it seem like I was putting it down straight, but I put it slightly crooked.
Only things rich people would understand. I don't, but she's doing it to piss off the rich character.
Can you please adjust the fork? 5 degrees.
What's the matter? Does it hurt your
Chris, you need more
knees?
constitution saving throw for me. With disadvantage. Because if you're hard downing the drink,
Wait, who's rolling?
You are.
You're
For
you're
Constitution.
Oh, me.
Constitution
Oh.
with disadvantage.
10.
you're starting to get a little bit of a buzz on you.
Yeah.
The waitress brings you another drink.
Yeah.
From what you can tell, the waitress knows that she shouldn't be providing this much alcohol. However, it has been a slow day, and the other waitresses standing around the walls are also talking and laughing at this whole interaction.
They were
because
thoroughly entertained.
They're thoroughly
Keep
entertained.
feeding her more drinks. It'll
Yeah.
make him more mad.
Meanwhile, I'm
This is
just like trying to increase the tempo a little bit
Yeah.
and get more excited.
Exactly, they're having fun with it.
Like fight. But with music instead of words.
I think that's gonna happen.
So, as that's going on, is there anything else that you two would want to be doing? Or continuing this back and forth?
I'm gonna burp. I'm just gonna burp, like, at least an unholy, righteous belch from the deepest, most guttural part of my stomach.
Just roll a straight d20 for me.
What is happening?
13.
It's a good burp. There's a little bit of vomit.
Oh,
But it's good.
oh.
It's a little bit of bile.
Oh!
Can I smell it?
Yeah, you'd be able to smell it.
I absolutely stand up, like, from the table, and I'm like, how vile!
As you do that, the woman from the table before stands up very angrily, looks over at you, walks over to the concierge, gives him money, and leaves. And the man's there, just like grabs her plate and just like finishes it off.
Miss a couple notes and be like, whoa.
The energy
what if they
I've
go back?
created in the studio is immense, humongous, absolutely vibing. Chrissy's going to stand up and just take a solid, very wobbly bow. Because she is thoroughly.
You're buzzed.
Wasted.
You're not wasted yet.
Not
You're
wasted
buzzed.
yet.
Is there an empty table somewhere?
There are a few empty tables.
I storm over to an empty table with my drink, set it down. I just take my drink and go over to the other table then.
Alright, Chrissy.
Just sitting by
They
myself.
should never have brought us to this restaurant.
Oh, what's the matter, Rexy? Are you not having fun anymore?
The guard who had been escorted from the Empire's palace comes over to you, Chrissy. Ma'am, I'm going to have to ask that you please calm down.
Sir, I'm gonna have to ask you to shut up because I helped find the king, and what you do, absolutely nothing. So you know what? I'm here on the king's orders to have an absolutely fantastic time because I saved his honey and you didn't do squat.
I'm like-
now go stand in your corner like a good little soldier boy.
I hear this conversation,
It is the
or do I hear this conversation from where I am?
Oh yes.
Okay, I'm just like, it's the Emperor! He's not a king!
Are you trying to intimidate the guard, Chrissy?
Nah, just kind of mock him.
Okay. The guard takes a moment, nods at what you're saying. Fair. If you do not calm down, I'm going to have to escort you into one of the cells at the palace.
But the king paid for my room.
And we will take the money back and put that right into the cell you're staying in. So please do calm down.
Fair enough. I will take the Emperor's looks back at Reximus. Kind offer and stay the night here. Thank you for your help, Mother.
Next time you insult me, I will not be afraid to hit you. And he takes a step back to the door.
Drunk Chrissy wanting to fight, but like a knowledgeable Chrissy be like, oh, I want that room.
Knowledgeable because you want that room, and also this guard could probably beat you, from what you can tell.
Probably, yeah.
From what you can guess, he recognizes that even though you are a guest of the Emperor's, he still has more control over and more sway over what the Emperor
Do I have
does.
money on me?
Yes, you do. You have
Okay.
No,
I
don't-
fish around in my pocket for a gold piece,
all right, yeah.
and I just say, excuse me, guard, to like the guy that's talking to her, and I just
He stops, looks over.
I just kind of like
I don't think this party is compelling.
just kind of slip him the gold piece, and I'm like, thank you for your service.
Over your table, picks up the gold piece. Thank you. I will also have to ask you to calm down as well. And he goes back to the door.
Can I have that? Okay, all right.
And Chrissy just kind of gives him a look like, you got snitched.
I like look down and I see one of my forks is like just slightly off. And
Twist it back. So after all this occurs, the waitress comes out with the food, looks over at the table, the two tables, looks down at the food, goes over to Chrissy, hands you your food, and goes over to Reximus's table, hands him his food. Okay. She goes back to her little place. Tat, you're enjoying the music.
I struggled a little bit there. I was a little distracted, but I got back into it, I guess.
Yeah.
Can I just state that I am also tipping her as well?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
How much?
Just the same amount, just the one gold.
Okay. So you hand her the one gold.
Yeah.
She bows.
Is she
thanks
cute?
you. I mean, yeah. Cute enough to be
Okay.
working for one of the nicest inns.
Tom says, "Can I please skip the cutscene and just go straight to the dungeon?"
Let's do a cutscene! A! I'm mashing A! It's not working!
No.
Press F to pay respect.
As you enjoy your food.
Been trying to get them to fight.
Evening
Can't wait for the
comes to a close. Is there anything you wanted to do while you were eating?
No.
I'd like to note that at one point I have drinking too much, and I have run to the bathroom to go vomit.
Okay. Yeah. So you go over to one of the waitresses, restroom, and they point you towards one of the bathrooms, which would
I'm just
be
like-
upstairs in the sleeping areas, pretty much. In your haste and in your drunken stupor, you recognize that a lot of the rooms people aren't in. They're empty. Very nice, and not a lot of people have the money to pay for it. So you enjoy your meal, and eventually the evening comes to a close. Chrissy and Tat, you take your room upstairs. It is quite a nice room. They do have two separate beds. It is split.
I think the guy who I was playing with before I go.
Yeah, and he gives you a silver and 2 copper pieces as like, hey, thanks. This is coming out of my pay for playing music here. You've made it better for me.
Okay. Cool.
Before you two go to bed, is there anything the three of you wanted to discuss?
I'm
This
storming
is
off as
when we
soon
go
as my
to our
food
room.
is done.
Okay.
I'm legitimately leaving the premises, like, as soon as I finish my last bite of meal.
You finish up your meal and you take your leave. The two of you go up to your room. At this point, it's about 7 or 8-ish. And Tat, what do you like to do?
What's
kinda
the
tired.
view like? Like if I open the window, can I see out over the city? Look
Yeah,
for...
you see the wide open city. It is the streets aren't busy, not as busy as the lower districts, but
Mhm.
it is definitely there are people walking the streets. Some people talking, meeting up with friends. A lot of younger people. It looks like some of the children of the people who live up in this district getting together, and by children I mean like between 15 and 20, getting together with their friends for an evening. People just going to stores, leaving stores, closing up shops, things like that.
Okay, so there's no like columns of smoke or any signs of chaos in the city?
No, not from up here. You can kind of see off into the distance where the elevators are, and you see some smoke here and there from some of the house fires that had started while things had gone astray. People had first started disappearing. Some buildings had caught fire. From what Alcides and you searched around, from what you can assume, it's a similar situation to where the fireball scorch marks had been left in the Emperor's Palace.
Okay, so fires were started by the fake reality, even though the things weren't dropped in the real reality.
From what you can tell, from what your small child brain can comprehend, yes.
Tad doesn't know any of this. Tad wouldn't think this hard.
EJ, you do. Yeah. Also, there might be just smoke coming from the lowest district, where there are often, like, bonfires, fire pits for people just hanging out and stuff like that. So,
Tad was just generally, like, looking for any signs of obvious distress or chaos or armies
obvious
approaching
distress
or
and
anything.
chaos, no.
So yeah, I'll just chillax. Maybe I'll write in my journal for a little bit before I get ready for bed.
Chrissy, is there anything you wanted to do before you went to bed? You and your sloshed brain.
So after doing some proper vomiting, I'm going to wash my face, brush my teeth, take a little sip of some water, lay down, and absolutely let out the most uncomfortable groan because I'm in a lot of pain. I shouldn't have done that, Tat.
What'd you do?
I had too much.
Too much what?
Big boy juice. Don't ever drink it, Tat. Be a good child forever.
Okay.
Good night, Tat.
Good night.
And I just absolutely pass out.
I will just curl up and go to sleep as well, I guess. Trying to cover my ears from her snoring.
Chrissy, as you sleep, you have many dreams. A lot of them are drunken, very fuzzy dreams that you don't quite remember very well. But one dream sticks out to you. As you're sleeping, you have this dream of walking through a maze. Walls, old mossy stone, some bricks falling here and there, mechanical contraptions falling apart every couple turns. You're thoroughly lost. If I could have you roll for me a wisdom check with disadvantage because you're drunk.
6.
Okay. After what feels like a good couple of hours of wandering around, you are still very thoroughly lost. You hear something in the distance. It sounds like yelling. From what you can guess, a child. Sounds like Tat. It's weird. And so, you begin to make your way towards it, making twists and turns, hitting a few dead ends here and there. Eventually you reach where the sound had come from. There's this large mechanical door, gears and locks completely coating the door. And you see a small blue boomerang. I'm just going off of what you're wearing, EJ, no, sorry.
Oh,
A small
the boomerang is actually like wooden.
The shawl. Yeah, wooden boomerang, yeah.
Yeah, it's not blue. This is just what I had. I didn't want to copy Sokka too much.
Yes, very reminiscent of Tat's. Right in front of the door. And you wake up. Tat, as you drift off into sleep, you have another dream. One that you've had in the past. You feel older, but it is you. An older version of you stands in a tower, in a room in a tower. Several books and spells and a lot of money lay around you. Corpse of a man lays on the floor as well. You know you didn't kill him, but you had something to do with his death, but you can't remember who it was. You pick up one of his books, you flip through it. The words don't make any sense to you. The words are just gibberish in your mind. It happens with dreams. And you close the book, apparently finding what you were looking for. You leave the tower. It's been a couple days since that man died in your mind. And you're back in your village. Before you had to evacuate with your family.
So I'm younger again?
You're still the same. You're still older. Your family is the same age. Your parents are the same age that they were last you saw them. They're sitting there eating a nice dinner with you. And you wake up. Reximus, you, after finishing your meal, stormed off. It's about 7, 8 p.m.-ish. Stormed off from the inn. The guard that you had tipped and had come with you from the Empire's home follows you out of the inn. And kind of, as you're storming out, goes, Reximus, Mr. Snarlshire, are you heading home? Do you need an escort home?
I don't believe I do. I think I'm fairly capable. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Then I will stay here with the other 2 guests. Have a good night, and thank you for taking my request into hearing my request of quieting down this evening. And he hands you back your gold piece and goes back inside.
You gave it back?
Give it back, yes.
Why?
Because you had raised your hand to ask for it back earlier.
I didn't think he hurt. Okay.
Just doing his job. You announced, and at the very top of the city, the 3rd layer, it's very nice. You've only been up here a couple times for one of the hearings that you and your family went to. Do you head back to your home?
I do have something that I need to do before I go home. I need to go knock on the door of Milo?
Yes, Milo.
Milo, okay.
He lives in the 3rd district. Okay, so you head over to where Milo lives. When you knock on the door, a few moments pass, one of the servants comes by. He opens up the door.
Eva or someone else?
Someone else, just one of the other
Okay.
servants. Mr. Snarlshire. It's good to see you. Would you like me to fetch Milo for you?
Yes. Is Eva not here either, or?
Eva is out finishing up shopping for our homestead.
Oh, okay.
With a few of the other servants.
Right. Yes. If I could speak to Milo, that'd be great.
Perfect. If you do not mind waiting here, I'll be back momentarily.
Sure.
And the servant goes off, and a few moments later, Milo comes through. Hey, Reximus, what's up?
I believe I owe you this, and I drop 5 gold into his hand.
Oh, thanks. What for? Do we make a bet? What? I don't.
Yes, from the party.
Yes, that's right. The party's a bit of a blur after, the whole pyramid thing happened. Sorry.
Yes.
Cool. Thanks. Gonna be honest, I don't even remember what the bet was, but I'll take it. He puts it in his pocket.
Right. Speaking of which, do you know if Alexei made it out, or Alexei?
Yeah.
Alexei.
Alexei. Yeah, him and I. After the very scary looking lizard guy, he was probably a dragonborn. He came over to us, started yelling at us to help get people out of the way. So we did that, and then we spoke to some of the guards. Watched you get escorted out. That was weird. Did you get arrested? What was it like?
I think like twice. Yeah.
Wait, twice? Wait, how did you get arrested a second time?
Well,
by a corpse.
I made a very bad mistake. I was just very tired, and there was a body. It's a long story. The point is, I just wanted
that
to.
made it sound like necrophilia. Sorry.
I just.
No, you're right though.
I mean, everything should be set right now. It was all a mistake.
Okay.
So, I'm actually, I actually just, I was. I'm kind of. I'm in a first name basis with the Emperor. So.
Oh. I heard he's kind of a stick in the.
Yeah.
I've met my dad.
Yes. Yeah.
Speaking, you wanted to talk to my dad. He's home now. If you wanted to talk to him.
That
Figured out he died.
won't be necessary. I don't need to speak to him at this current moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've had a long day. Something about misuse of silverware. It's a lot. So
I mean, how do you misuse?
That's the worst
There's a
bothering.
salad fork. There's an entree fork.
Yeah,
and then there's the dessert.
yes,
How do you
there
misuse
is.
silverware?
I don't understand. Listen, I don't want to get into it right now, but
Yeah. All right.
I just need to go home and rest and see my servants, because it's been a while. Kind of missed
You and
them.
your slaves.
So yes,
All right. Well, good to see you. We'll hang out some other time, I guess.
absolutely. I'll be in contact.
And you kind of waves, and
Yeah.
he shuts the door as you kind of walk away.
And as I walk away from the house, I'm like, stupid found a salad fork. It's just it's the right. You just.
Oh,
you,
I'm
you
so
have to-
like if Chrissy knew,
That's what
only
bothers
knew
him
how
most
much
about
this
the
is
entire
torturing
day.
him.
Yes, the
He's been hit
salad
with a
fork.
fireball.
Literally,
He's
as
been
I'm
trapped in a
walking-
demi-universe.
As I've been walking from the inn, I was just like, why can't you just use the right fork? You just you just keep it straight up. You don't have
Out
to.
of all the things that happened, that you were attacked by a doppelganger, you were attacked by demons, you got shot by the emperor with the fireball.
This is exactly like the other night where he was like, "Ah, yes, I blew up a building, almost got murdered by a white, but I'm in this room with water. How dare you give me water?"
Exactly. Right. Exactly.
These priorities are perfect.
Priorities. The Reximus.
Salad fork.
Salad fork.
Rex
Right.
has become the meme of this.
Yeah, I mean,
Pretty
hey,
much.
better than what I could have ever asked for in my life. You leave Milo's home. You head back to your home now. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. So yeah, you head back to your home. It takes a little while, just because the tram system's slow and you're walking home. But as you get home, your front door is still completely screwed up from the
Oh, no.
demons breaking in.
Oh no!
I just
There
kinda-
could have been
I just
servants
kinda-
around when
There
that happened.
are a couple of servants are like,
I'm just
I
like
need to
staring
get-
at them through the hole. And I'm like, could someone like fix this?
Lord Snosha, yes. They pick the door off where the hinges should be and move it to the side. Welcome home. We're glad you're
Right.
safe.
Yes, I'm just glad that you all are here.
Oh, yes, yes, sir. Yes. And do not worry about the door. We are getting it fixed.
You might want to
this
check
has-
the back door as well.
Back door. No, the back door is fine. It was just open for some reason.
Right.
Side garden, however.
The side garden, however, is
Yes, I believe there was a massive wall.
wall of dirt.
I don't think you
Yes.
ever knew about that.
No.
Well, we walked
they-
away from the house, right?
You
So
did,
we
yeah,
wouldn't
you
be able
did
to
see.
Oh,
Yeah, you would
okay.
have seen as you walked away from the house. Yes, we are working on that, and Lister has already sent a few of the other servants to get a carpenter. It's a little bit late, so it may not be fixed until tomorrow. But
Right. Where is she at the moment?
I believe working with a couple of the other servants to tear down the dirt wall.
Ah. Could you inform her that that I've arrived and that it's time for the
Yes, of course.
pre-sleep
Absolutely.
brushing? Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And I'm assuming you head upstairs, yes?
Yeah.
A few moments later, Lystra comes in. Reximus, you're safe. It's Mr. Snowstar. We're so glad to hear that you're safe. And we will go about your nightly routines as they happen.
Of course.
Was there anything before you head to bed, after the nightly routines, that you wanted to do? Unless you'd like to role play out the brushing of teeth.
I was considering it, but no, it's fine.
So as you finish everything up, Lystra, you and her have been having a conversation about kind of what happened in the meantime. You do get filled in that she had gone off to go find something for you. I can't remember now, though. It was a couple sessions ago. She kind of goes over what happened in your absence, how they were all. They had a couple of servants looking around the city for you that they're going to go ahead and call back, more or less. And then she leaves. A few moments passes. You lay down in your bed and you're like, today has been a day. A few moments pass by and Bazrar appears again. Your room, your lanterns have been shut off. You're getting ready for bed and Bazrar poofs in. There's a small purple light glow as he does. Reximus, right. Before we end things off, not the best of news. Wasn't in your mindscape. Miss Gorbov is not with us, and their household is still burnt down, and it is still a mess.
Right.
In regards to Tat, I don't know where she is, but I'm assuming we'll be seeing her tomorrow. Haven't been able to find anything on the family. To my understanding, though, some of the Emperor's men have been looking for them as well, so maybe that would be a little bit better than, just me going around
Right.
Between you and I don't really think they're still here in, our mortal coil, or your mortal coil. But that's just between you and I. I'm still looking for him though. For
I believe that'll be it for now.
sure thing. Talk to you tomorrow. And he kind of steps off into the darkness before he disappears. And as the purple puff of smoke goes, and he goes with it, you see a single eye in the shadows close.
Can I roll perception? Just try and
Yeah, you can roll perception to see if you can see it again.
16.
You sit up abruptly, you look around to see the eye again, and it's nowhere to be found. It's very reminiscent to the thing you spoke with in your dreams, though. The eye, at the very least.
Come out if you're brave enough! I summon in the...
He's summoning
So I
into
take
a
out the
lamp.
lamp and form it into like a sword.
Yeah, alright. It's got a soft purple glow to it.
Nice.
Similar to how Buzzrar is.
Mm-hmm. I'm out of bed at this point. I leap out of bed and I'm like
Yeah,
pointing
you're
it everywhere around.
there's nothing. You turn around, you even turn on a couple of your lamps in the home, your lanterns in the home, to turn on the light. There's no eyes or moving shadows.
So we're gonna hide now. You'll regret this. Has Lizra picked up on any of this? As I'm like yelling pretty loud.
Yeah, you're yelling pretty loud. One of the other servants, not Lysdra, because Lysdra's off somewhere
I
else.
think it's a normal occurrence for Reckless, just yelling
Not
random
uncommon.
things
One of the
in
other
his
servants.
drews.
Hey.
Oh, how dare you not give
Thank
me
you so
my
much for watching,
haircut.
sir. We
I'm
appreciate
just
you.
because I only have scales up there doesn't mean I can't go into a hair salon, right?
One of the other servants rushes in. Sir Snot, they're kind of in a kind of sleeping dress clothes. It sounds like it seems as though they've been resting close by because things have been weird.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of keeping an eye on everything. Is everything okay, sir?
Yes. Yes. I just keep watch around the house if you can. I mean, try and get some sleep, of course, but
Yes.
I would just yeah, be careful. One more thing before I retire for the night. Could you possibly just bring me any Michelangelo's harder that we have around the house?
Blue didn't catch that. What'd you say?
Michelangelo's harder.
Harder?
That's my favorite drink. We already discussed this.
Yes, I know, but I didn't catch on until just now.
What it is, what it's referencing.
Yeah. We're not sponsored, but it's the Dungeons and Dragons version of Mike's Heart.
Yeah.
Sure thing, sir. Yes, sir. And he goes off. And a few moments later, he comes back with your Michelangelo's harder.
I just say thank you. That'll be all.
He goes off to what he was doing. Shuts the door behind him.
And I just Pepe hands on the bed, just sit down and
You
cry
what?
as I drink my
Alcohol.
harder. Yes.
All right. So how long before you go to sleep, Maximus?
Probably like when I finish the bottle, I just like crash.
Roll a wisdom saving throw for me, please.
15.
You get to sleep without any problems. You have some vivid dreams, just coming from a weird day, everything going on. Before you fully fall asleep, you kind of go over the conversation with the Emperor, Buzzrar, and even that thing in your mind, the black mass of eyes that you spoke to in that one dream previously. Kind of going over the conversations you had with them, recognizing that you don't know what it was, but apparently it followed you. And eyes in your room may be attached to it somehow. And with that, we're going to end today's session as the sun rises and a new day begins.
Yay.
We've done 10 sessions, and it's finally day 3.
Oh my god.
We need to stop Rexus being angry at every little thing.
We literally, majority of the session was me and Chrissy at dinner being angry with each other.
I know.